Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and today we're out in the area of my garden here at Crystal Cottage called Yorkim's Corner because I am going to be doing a rhododendron bush transplant video for you today. And the two plants I'm going to be transplanting are right behind me here. I have one bush here and I have one bush back here. Now I have three bushes here altogether. There's one in the middle growing out nice and big and spreading out, and I think that is enough to fill out this side, so I can move the two other bushes into my area called the Triangle Garden, which is in my Crystal Woods area. And I've made a border there. It's a triangle shape as the name suggests. It's full of wild ferns that are growing, miniature ferns and also larger ferns like the ones behind me here that grow everywhere in the wild here in Sweden, and they're very easy to split and divide and move during the late autumn, winter and springtime before they start growing out their fiddles. So a few years ago I went out and collected myself an awful lot of rhododendrons all in one go one year because I found them on an amazing bargain. Decent sized plants around this size that were reduced from around 600 kronas a plant to 50 kronas a plant. So I grabbed lots of them to plant out here, all different types and varieties. And since then, over the years, I've been collecting rhododendrons, a couple every year roundabout. I absolutely love them, and I did a video on my rhododendrons. I did a tour not long ago, so you can go back and see that video and you'll be able to see many of the different varieties of rhododendron I have and see the different coloured flowers and the different forms. And in that video my rhododendron weren't doing the best. They were suffering with iron deficiency and needed a lot of fertilizer. And since then I've fertilized them and they've bounced back lovely and green, and they're doing really well, and some are growing out amazingly. For example, this one down here was completely brown and not looking so good, but now it's come back lovely and green. And that is another plant I'm actually going to be replanting because they're growing out so well now at the front of this border that I need to place them at the back over here. And in there I have hostas growing, my hostas Patriot, that are getting munched to death by the slugs and snails, so they need to be lifted and put into pots. So when I take those out, I will move these two rhododendron and place them in the back of my border there. And behind them I have some bamboos that I'm also going to be placing in another area, but that's all for another time. For today, I'm just going to be concentrating on showing you me lifting out these rhododendron and transplanting them to Triangle Garden. Now, these have been in the ground here for at least 3 years, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to still be able to move rhododendron bushes that have been in the ground for 3 years. I don't think these plants are going to have a very big root ball still after 3 years. And they've tripled in size, but I still think I'm going to be able to get them up easily enough to transplant, and I don't think it's going to do any harm to them because I've transplanted many of my rhododendrons now to different areas, and they've just bounced back and they've had their flowers the next year and they've grown out and carried on like nothing ever happened. As long as they're put into their new spot quickly and they're in soil that is moist, then they should be good to go. And I will fertilize these plants as soon as I put them in the ground as well, to make sure they get a good boost and be able to carry on the way they are right now. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to Triangle Garden and dig me out 2 holes so that I have my 2 holes prepared. And as I said, it's rained a lot, so it should be easy for me to make 2 holes, and it's going to be very moist in the soil. The only thing that could be difficult there is that there are many trees, so there could be many tree roots, so I might have to saw or dig around some of those. We'll see how it goes. It might be easier than I think. So let's head off over now to Triangle Garden, get these holes dug, and then we can come back and get these rhododendrons in. And I'm sure they're going to look much bigger than they do here when I take them to Triangle Garden, and that's good because I want this effect of something higher growing in the middle that is evergreen, because Triangle Garden, well, you'll see in a moment, everything turns bare and brown in the winter because there's no evergreen plants in there right now, but soon there will be. Let's go. So right, all I have to work with today is my spade and my little saw in case I should encounter any tree roots that are in the way. I'm going to climb over the fence now here and decide where I want to put these bushes. Now there's one thing I don't want to do, and that is I don't want to disturb too many of my lovely ferns that are growing in here. I really want this to look nice and green and to keep as many of these lovely ferns going as possible because they are beautiful. And so I'm going to have to try and make a little pile of soil next to my hole and disturb the ground as little as possible. So I'm expecting my rhododendron to grow up and fill out this area and get quite big. So I'm going to put one around here. This should be good. This is quite central. And then I'm going to place another one behind the mound I have over there. So let me get digging. And here there actually aren't that many fern, so I'm not actually going to be disturbing that much either. And you can see how big this beautiful bracken is in front of me that I planted out earlier this year when I separated my bracken from my botanical garden, and look how wonderfully they've bounced back. You can go and see that in my other video I made of this. So already I'm encountering tree roots exactly where I want to dig. This is a perfect area and perfect soil for my rhododendrons because it's full of leaves that have fallen from all of the deciduous trees around me, making a wonderful mulch layer on the ground and a fantastic soil full of nutrients underneath. And with all the leaves that fall down every year around, this will help to keep the soil underneath quite moist, which is exactly what these rhododendron will need. I just love the natural effect of this little triangle garden. So that's my first hole dug. Now I need to get over to the other one. Temperature's really nice in the shade here. So the digging actually went really quick and easy. Much easier than I thought it would be. Didn't need to use my saw at all. Now I'm ready to go and dig up my rhododendrons and get them straight into the ground. Let's go back and get them now. So now I'm really hoping that these rhododendron are going to come out of the ground as easy as pie. Let's see. I did say easy, but I didn't think it was going to be this easy. This one has just popped out of the ground. And look at the size of that. These are really going to fill out Triangle Garden absolutely fantastically. But I just can't believe that this has popped up out of the ground without hardly having grown any more roots in 3 years. What's going on? How is it sustaining all of this wonderful green growth and extra large leaves? That is amazing. So that's the first one. Let's see if the other one's going to pop out just as easy. And I didn't have to disturb these fern too much, so I can enjoy them for the rest of the season. I can't believe this. These rhododendrons have no roots. How can that be? Look at this. Look how easy this came out of the ground. I can't believe it. And, well, it's grown hardly any roots in that time, and yet it's lovely and green on top. So these are going to be able to easily fit into those holes I made. I was worrying that the holes wouldn't be big enough, but they're going to be fine for these. So I'll place some fertilizer directly in the bottom of the hole, put these in, put some fertilizer around the top and fill around, and then I can water them later on, and I hope it will rain even more and these will be absolutely fine there. Let's go back to Triangle Garden. This is just amazing. So now I have my 2 rhododendrons next to me that I'm going to be planting out, and I have my fertilizer here that I'm going to be putting in the hole. And I just want to tell you what's in the fertilizer. So I have here, it says 6% N total nitrogen, 3.4% N ammoniacal nitrogen, 2.6% N organically bound nitrogen, 2% P total phosphate, 5% K total potassium, 4% total sulfur, 5% Ca kalium, and 56% organic matter evaluated as loss on ignition, low in chloride. So this is what's helping to boost my plants and make them green. Let's get this into the hole. So as you saw, I just took a little half handful and sprinkled it into each hole. I didn't measure the amount, but sprinkling a little half handful into a hole should be fine. And now for the good part, putting them in the holes. But I need to decide which one I want to put in which hole. One is much bushier and bigger and has a bigger root ball. One is higher, thinner, but still bushy enough and has a very small root ball. And I'm thinking I want to put the bushier one in the middle and the higher one over on the edge. So I'll do this one first. And now I want to get the next one in the hole before I collect me a little extra soil to place around the edge before I fill them completely in. I'm really looking forward to these rhododendrons growing up and filling out in this area now. This one just seemed to fit like a glove, and it is already compacted into the soil, covered up around the top, plenty of fertilizer, and it is good to go. So I just need to go and get a little extra soil for the other one because that hole needs some more soil. And then I'll be done. So that is me all done, and my new additions to my triangle garden here look absolutely fantastic already, and I'm sure they're going to grow out wonderfully. And now I have some winter interest for this winter coming up already, where I'll be able to see these 2 plants when everything else has faded away to brown. So that just shows you how easy it is to go and move around your rhododendron if they're growing out and have been in the ground for a couple of years or quite a few years. You'll still be able to go in and move them around quite easily, and I think that's quite amazing. I just can't believe that these plants are being sustained with such a small root ball, and they're lovely and green as they are. So this extra boost with more fertilizer and even more light, dappled light that these plants love, is just going to make these plants grow out amazingly. But just remember, if you want to get into rhododendrons and you want to have them in pots, for example, you do need to buy rhododendron soil, and these plants love to be in an acidic soil. So a soil like this, that's full of mulch, full of breaking down leaves and twigs and stems and branches and all sorts going on in this border. This is all just going to keep these plants so happy and healthy. They need to be in a low pH. A pH of 4.5 to 5.5 is the absolute optimal for these plants. They need to be able to take up iron, and that means they need to have the lower pH. So now I am ready to take you in for a close-up look of these 2 plants in their new spots. Let's go. So let's go in and have that closer look at this transformation with these beautiful rhododendrons in my triangle garden. And my fence I've made here. But there's the first one in amongst these wonderful bracken and fern, and I've hardly made a footprint on the ground in here, which I'm so pleased about, because it was so easy to dig into the soil and get these plants into place. So let me get round to the other side where you'll be able to see them much better. So once again, we'll go through Silver Way, round the corner in Crystal Woods, and here you can see the other side. We'll go a little bit further down here because then you'll be able to see the first rhododendron better here. There you go. You can see how beautiful it looks there with the lovely early morning eastern sunshine coming in. And here's the second one here in the beautiful soil down there. Look at this. Also has bracken growing in front and all sorts around. They're going to do amazingly here. I'm pretty sure of that. And I can't wait to get more things planted into this area. All of the lily of the valley are dying back now down here. There are lots of them that come out in this area too. And as I said, the backdrop with my huge hazelnut bushes growing around the edge. There's our crystal cottage there. So these are really going to grow up and give some height and beautiful winter interest. I just love it. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing these plants close up, and my new border and my fencing that I made myself from twigs and stems that I have lying around here. And well, it's really wonderful to be able to use the resources I have in my garden. These fences will last as long as they last, and then I can just build a new one, no problem. And it protects the area in here so people know not to walk on this wild garden area I have going on in here. I love everything that's going on, and there are going to be so many more ferns going on in here and other plants that I plant in with time. So all I have to say now is thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.